Hey everybody, I'm going to be showing you Brookside Mountain Bike Trail in Ashland today. Please make sure to like and subscribe. We are here in Ashland, Ohio today, checking out Brookside Mountain Bike Trail. Right here at the Trailhead where their pump track is. We're actually not going to ride the pump track today because it is a little too wet. It is an entirely dirt pump track. But to get to the mountain bike trail, you want to ride up this little ledge here. And then they're actually going to be building an entire skills trail here. But you can see there's two trailheads here. One easier one on the left, one more fun one on the right. So we're going to take the right, especially because there's a tree down on the left there. So they've been putting a lot of work out here, building these wooden features. There's a few fun jumps, drops, really nice berms here. Now once you get up here, there are some multiple intersecting lines, so you definitely want to be careful. Watch where you're going. Another jump line on the left there too. Now this takes you right by the golf course. This section can be a little confusing. Just look out for these signs. When in doubt, just follow the pavement and that'll take you back till you'll see another trailhead sign up here. Now this is the out and back, so it is multi-directional. Careful of the road crossing, and then you'll see the other trailhead sign right here. Signage is pretty great throughout this whole spot. Now, I wouldn't recommend it. You could always come park at the golf course. It's one of those frowned upon things. That and the out and back is one of the most fun sections of the trail. They've really been putting a lot of work into that. All those wooden features. So this dumps you right back in the woods here. All right, and then up here begins the actual loop of the trail. So you're going to want to follow the trail to the left here. Kind of like a little hangout spot there. Decide if you want to do another lap. Now there's multiple lines here. There's one to the left, right there. More of a beginner downhill. Advanced downhill to the right there. This one's also a relatively advanced one. A lot of really big gap jumps here. I guess not a lot. There's two gap jumps there. One kind of drop on the advanced downhill line. Now this section always is pretty muddy. This is called the lower level. So Brookside kind of has this lower level, and then everything else is up on the upper ledge there. So you begin that loop with the Ashland Airport is what it's called. Ashland Airport 2.0. That's the downhill name. And then you have this lower level, which you can bypass. And then you go up Hiker's Hill, which you will see why it's called Hiker's Hill. It is a monster in its own. Oh yeah, really swampy down here. A lot of these wooden features every year get washed out because the town creek runs through here. That's a creek that runs through the entire town of Ashland. A lot of cool, weird technical features through there. All right, now we're on to Hiker's Hill. Oh, this is the hard spot. All right. So now we're on the upper ledge. This is called the root of evil. Root of all evil, something like that. The trail actually used to be a little different there, and you were turning around the tree, and it made the route so much more challenging. It was like a rock garden section, but with a ton of roots. So this trail has existed for quite a few years now. It's built on about, well, this main loop is built on 17 acres. So it's not a lot, but when it was built, they really wanted to use as much of the land as they could, take advantage of every little inch. So you'll see the trail really coming close in on itself, much like it does at Vulture's Knob. And it is about 3 miles. It's hard to really accurately gauge length because the GPS really does not want to cooperate with all the tight corners. Now, this is mainly used for a NICA youth program put on by Ashland Bike Project. That was the main reason for building it, was to have that league and all the practices here. So it's a great course for the kids to really hone in on their cornering and their technical abilities. But it's still a really fun beginner trail too. Any technical feature you can really ride around. It's not super hilly. The only hill really on the trail is Hiker's Hill. That hill is really not that bad as long as you can maintain some speed going up it. All right, and this section's kind of changed a little bit. There used to be a spot where you could go right there down into the creek. Every winter it just gets washed out. They try and put stuff up so you can ride across it again, and more water comes through. But there's a really cool rock section, rock garden on the other side of the creek there. But there's about a 2-3 foot drop to go into the creek that has about a spot where your tire's just big enough to land in, and then has like a foot bump. So when your tire drops in, it gets caught on that lip and does not roll over it, so it causes you to endo. So to get across the creek, you really need something to ride across it. But sadly, nothing just sticks there. All right, and this is called the power line. So this is the longest, relatively straightaway section of the course. You can tell we just did a lot of turning there. So, and then in the middle of the power line, You have a really cool section called dropping logs. This is one of the muddiest areas other than lower level, where they had to drop a whole bunch of logs. Another muddy section here. So there's a big wooden feature right there on the left that is called the arm cruncher. Their plans are to take that down. It is fairly vicious. It is rideable. I've ridden up it. A handful of other people have ridden up and over it. But it's a little bit too high risk for the kids program. So they're going to disassemble it and use that wood somewhere else. Or at least lower it so you can ride through that muddy section, or I guess over the muddy section. All right, then, yep, looked like there was a tree that fell down here. That is the tough thing about this trail, is if one tree falls down, it kind of takes up a few paths on the trail since they're so closely knit together. But part of that is also an advantage too, is you can always just ride around the fallen tree. That little section there, it's called Turtle Soup. We called it that because it was always really soupy. But there was also a turtle shell there that kept getting moved and then eventually got stolen, which was really sad. We ended up keeping the name, but not a lot of people know why it's called Turtle Soup. More trees down. We're gonna ride all the way around them. All right, back onto the trail. No one's been out here for probably a month to do trail maintenance on this. It's just been so wet and mud. Oh, excuse me, wet and muddy, unrideable. So hasn't really been much of a point. This is probably the first day that it's been rideable in a month. Ground's still a little soft in some places, but for the most part, I mean, I don't have any mud even on my bike. There's a little bit on the bottom bracket. Everything else is really good. All right, now it's coming up. One of the coolest features, the whole trail, the stump jumper line. There was a giant tree that fell down here. Took out a really cool double that was on the trail, which was sad. But they got a bunch of volunteers out here to cut down the big tree and turn it into a really cool wooden feature. So something good did come out of the tragedy. I will say one really nice thing about this trail is that with it being so closely knit together, and kind of winds back to the start a few times, that you're never too far away from where you started. So if you get hurt, you have a mechanical, you could hike right back to the trailhead, get to your car, and be on your way, or fix your repair. and come on back out. So you can see the sign for Root of All Evil right ahead. The trail actually used to cut right there, take you back around to it. It was redesigned just to flow a little bit better. Believe it or not, the trail actually used to be a lot tighter and twistier when it was originally built. Now you don't have to take that line right there. Most people go to the right. But it's not quite as fun that way. I apologize for all my snot rockets. It's about 31 degrees out here today. So it is cold. These are the last few turns before the loop is over. All right, then this is the end of the loop. You can either take more laps as you go right, or just come back through here on the out and back. Now there are signs to the right and the left of me that do say caution bicycles. You have to be careful because it does not say yield to bicycles, and there is a crosswalk there, so I always like just play it safe and not go when a car is coming. Golf course was here first. We're lucky that they let us as mountain bikers use the property, so. Now this is a different way than what we came. So like I said, there are a lot of trails kind of intertwining on this out and back. So you do just need to be careful. And we're back at the pump track. Thanks for coming along with me today, and make sure you like and subscribe.